Today on the TMZ Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the TMZ Podcast. I'm Charlie Cotton and joining me today is Tish the Dish.
That's right. What's up, everybody?
That's actually your nickname?
It's my stage moniker.
It's your stage moniker?
We're in Hollywood, so you gotta have that, your raz baz 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 riz. So
your
I'm Tish
riz.
the Dish. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah, the sauce.
How long you been working for us?
Wow, I just hit a year and a half, so almost 2 years with TMZ.
And you're doing mostly tour guiding?
Yeah, I work as a tour guide on the TMZ Celebrity Tour, working with the fans. They come in town. They want to spot a celebrity. We get out there on our celebrity safari.
Who's your favorite celebrity you've seen on the tour?
Okay, of course, Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt. That is, imagine that. I think the best I got when I was a tour guide was like David Hasselhoff. You know what I mean?
No, Knight Rider, though.
Knight Rider.
And Baywatch.
Baywatch. Oh, yeah. Yeah,
So-
Baywatch. Exactly, of course. Okay. Well, man, I am super into some of these stories today. We got, we'll talk about Jonathan Majors. He is in court versus his ex-girlfriend. There's all these juicy details coming out. We'll tell you all about it. We will tell you who the Time Magazine Person of the Year is. I think it's kind of obvious, but we'll give you all the details on why she won it.
Mm-hmm.
But to begin with, Amy Robach and T.J. Holmes.
Yeah.
Remember them?
Yeah, remember them.
From GMA.
Yes.
Well, crazy, shocking new development. Their exes are now dating. This is according to a report from Page 6, who said that the two of them, their names are, where are my notes? Their names are Marilee and Andrew. They initially bonded over, their heartbreak, but now it's become bigger than that, and they're now connecting on their values.
Crazy.
Crazy.
Well, I don't understand why Andy Cohen hasn't jumped on this with the camera. This needs to be a reality show.
Yeah, get both of them in the same, couples in the same show.
Both couples in the same show. Everybody's for it. Everybody's eating their popcorn right now, especially with the podcasts. Amy and TJ, they've got their podcast. It's on iHeartRadio. I was reading some of the reviews, and some people are really loving them, and some people not so much.
I think that's what you want. You want to divide people. You don't want to be in the middle. You want people to love it or hate you. But yeah, they just launched their new podcast, which is a good first step back into sort of like the public realm, I think.
Right.
And they obviously talked about the scandal in the first ep. Let's listen to some of what they have to say.
It was hard because anyone who was a viewer, anyone outside of a very small circle didn't know that either one of us were getting divorced. So that was one of the challenges we had in the beginning. So we were trying to clear everything up, and we actually had a press release ready to go.
Yeah, with the audience. And that's, look, our viewers, fans, I know there are plenty of people who followed us for a long time. And for that, I mean, we were trying to make the best call we could, but we shouldn't have allowed, I can say that in hindsight, but for folks to find out about our relationship before they found out about our divorces.
So they kind of claimed that they didn't cheat, that it wasn't an affair, that everyone knew they were going through a divorce and they got with each other when they were already over their past. What do you think about that?
Can we keep it real, Charlie?
Yeah.
Mr. Cotton.
Go on.
Affairs start way before the physical.
Yeah.
It's emotional. It's mental. It's, it starts as a friendly, let me get you a cup of coffee. Oh, well, let's go have lunch together. Then the next thing you know, you're sneaking in the back of a car.
Right. I mean, they had great on-screen chemistry, which is what, made them work on TV.
That's
and obviously what made them work off TV.
That's
But for their exes now to be shacking up, I mean, I wonder who made the first text or phone call to the other. And it's just it's so entertaining.
Have you ever had an affair?
No.
Smart answer.
No.
Smart answer.
I'm not going to say it on a podcast if I had.
I just wanted to ask because we're having a real conversation.
Have you
here.
ever had an affair?
Unfortunately, Yes.
Wow.
When I was married 20 years ago.
Oh, do tell.
Well, like it was a coworker.
Okay.
Bartending. And so, I sympathize with TJ and Amy a little bit because I get it. When you have that chemistry, you're missing something at home, things do happen. However, it was just kind of messy the way everything went down. And
Yeah.
I think they're trying to play all innocent now. It's like, just lean into it. You did it.
Totally. Even as part of this episode, Amy was talking about TJ, like the day that it all came out.
Mm-hmm.
She feared for his life because he wasn't returning her like texts or phone calls or anyone's texts or phone calls.
Yeah.
And he kept saying sorry before that. And so when she couldn't contact him, she thought that she feared the worst. So she had to go over there. Turned out he'd just like drank a bottle of vodka and ate some weed gummies.
Yeah, sounds like a regular Friday, Saturday night.
Doesn't that sound like a good time? But yeah, so it's just they are re-emerging, and it's going to be interesting to see how their little storyline goes, as well as their ex's storyline. Because I would just as happily listen to their exes do a podcast or whatever.
Well, let's just be real. Everybody's kind of over Amy and TJ. We want to see what's up with Marilee and Andrew.
Yes.
We love Andrew. Remember Melrose Place?
Oh, we love the. Oh, do we know these people?
He was Bill. Yes.
Oh.
Especially those of us who are reality TV fans, night soap fans, Melrose Place, Beverly Hills 90210.
That's Andrew Shue.
That's Andrew Shue.
Good looking cat.
Great looking cat.
Yeah.
Okay. He's.
But so is Marilee. Like
she's gorge.
Gorge. Absolutely gorge. What of these two relationships do you think will last the longest?
TJ and Amy, they've got the rhythm, obviously.
But imagine if it was the exes, like then that's stuff of blockbuster movies sort of plots. Like if the exes, then that's a rom-com waiting to happen.
We need a camera. We need documentation. This is the hottest thing. It's right up there with Scandival. Let's just go ahead and put it up there.
It really is. Yeah, Bravo should be doing something about this. And if you offer them all enough money, like, what are these two doing for work? They've just got a podcast. What's Andrew Shue done lately? Nada.
Easy.
Okay.
He's done dude TJ's ex-wife.
Oh, he's done TJ's ex-wife. Yes.
Allegedly.
Nice. That's a great end to that segment, I think. Jonathan Majors is in court versus his ex, Grace Jabbari. And a lot of stuff is now coming out about what precipitated their big fight in a New York cab. She is saying that it was all over a text from a lady named Cleopatra, who said, "Wish I was kissing you." And at that point, when she saw that text and went for his phone, he kind of hit her and she felt a thud on her head and there was like a scramble for the phone. And in court, video evidence was submitted where you can see him get out of the car. He tried to push her back in the car, in the cab, and he ran off and she ran after him. So we're getting new evidence, not only just word of mouth from both of these two, but video evidence. We've got the video evidence from the club later that night. And Grace is explaining away that video evidence, saying that after their fight, she didn't want to be alone. So she went out to a club alone and joined some stranger's birthday party and bought them drinks. And this is a confusing situation.
Right. And again, the proverbial onion, so many layers that you're peeling to this. And
you just start to cry.
Everybody.
That's the proverb, right?
I don't know. We'll go with it. But I will say this, in my outside life, some people know that I do work with women that are survivors.
Oh, you do?
Of domestic violence, yes. And, you can't say it's a one-size-fit-all blanket situation. However, in the experience that I have, in the degrees that I have, in the training that I have, it's typically not something that a woman would do after getting assaulted by someone that she's in a relationship with.
Which is go out to the club.
Go out to and join a stranger's party.
Right.
I mean, if it's your friend, somebody you know, because you're feeling safe. But once you've been
It's strange that it was
abused,
a stranger.
yeah, well, because you're vulnerable, you're open, you've just gone through trauma.
Yeah.
It's
And it's interesting that she was running after him in the New York streets. Like, that's the video showing that after their alleged incident, she ran after him. And Jonathan Major's lawyer is saying that's how she sustained her injuries. In that chase, maybe she fell, maybe this happened. But that it wasn't Jonathan Majors who inflicted the injuries, allegedly. It happened on this run or happened at the club later on. I mean, God knows what the truth is and how a jury might determine who's telling the truth. But man, it's just crazy. So they also played a recording in court from not that night. It was an audio recording from another incident where he came home tipsy and she just started recording him. And one of the lines is he wanted her to be more like Michelle Obama. And mind you, she's a white English dancer.
Yeah, I saw that. And okay, a couple of things there with what you're saying. Again, we want to make sure that we're clarifying that we're not victim shaming. I mean, again, there's always three sides to every story. His story, his side, her side, and then the truth. And like you said, only God really knows what really happened and transpired. However, a lot of the points that his attorney are making are solid points.
Oh, you think so?
100%, and then...
What about the Michelle Obama? Is that a good point?
Okay, I was hoping that you wouldn't bring that part up again, because here's the deal. Okay, so I date interracially. Okay, I'm from the South. And we all like our things, right? And when you're with someone that is obviously of a different ethnicity, nationality, you want to be respectful, just like you want them to respect you. Now, if I'm going out with, say, Brad Pitt, I'm not going to expect him to act like Idris Elba.
No.
In
any capacity.
Because
in the streets or in the sheets.
Yeah. Hey, don't judge me. Because it may be both places. We're talking about Brad Pitt.
All right.
We've talked about this. But yeah, I just think that that's kind of like a demented kind of thing. That's abusive. That's emotionally abusive. It's mentally abusive. Because how can, if I look like...
I can't tell you to be more like Taylor Swift.
It's not going to happen.
It's just weird.
And if you were trying to force me to do that that would make, as a woman, me feel inadequate. It's abusive.
Well, Grace and her lawyer said for a period of time this was a controlling, abusive relationship, and then this was just like the cherry on top. This incident was the bad sort of like thing that came out at the end. He also said to her in the recording, "I'm a great man. I need a great woman by my side who makes sacrifices." Apparently that woman now is Megan Good, because Megan Good is riding with Jonathan Majors to court every day.
Loving it.
What else did she say? Grace, the alleged victim, said that a big argument happened when she raised her ex-boyfriend over talking about, my ex-boyfriend had a dog, I know how to look after dogs. And raising the ex-boyfriend made him blow up, apparently. He threw a candle at her one time, apparently. He knocked her headphones off her. There's all of these different little tidbits coming out now about how this was just a bad relationship all the way through.
Sounds very toxic. Sounds
really
very toxic. But just to speak on the point about Megan Good, it speaks volumes that she's by his side. She has a lot of respect in Hollywood.
I know.
And a multiple cross-cultural appeal because she's always been a very real person. We know her past marriage. She was married to a pastor, and she, typically they don't get divorced, but she was like, I need to be happy. I want to live my truth. And it just seems like she wouldn't be someone that would compromise her values, her morals.
That's
her
why it's
standards.
the perfect person for him to date
Exactly.
during this.
I
I'm a
agree.
good guy. I'm dating someone with that last name. So, I've got to be.
I'm
But it's
good
just
because my girl is good. Charlie.
It's just everything
Charlie.
about her is like the perfect person for him to date now. You know what I mean?
Even her last name.
Even her last name. Especially her last name.
Gotcha.
Okay, it's official. Taylor Swift is the Time Person of the Year.
Yes.
She beat out Putin. Could have been Putin on the cover. King Charles. She beat out Barbie. She beat out the Hollywood Strikers. So I think it was an obvious choice, to be honest. The year she has had has been like no other year any entertainer has had, I think. And Time thinks that too, because this is the first entertainer to receive the like solo award in the 96 years that Time magazine's been doing this.
Wow.
Like not even, I don't know, Elvis got it. Yeah.
Well, it's epic.
Yeah.
It's epic. She is, like I said, she's having her moment. This is her year. She's got one of the hottest guys on the planet as her man. I mean, he's all man.
He's sexy.
He's America's, game,
You're into that as well, aren't you? Like, you're into guys like Travis?
Did we not talk about this already?
We did, that's why.
I like vanilla in my coffee, Charlie. Is that what you want me to say?
Can I just ask why?
Because sometimes you...
Am I allowed to ask why?
Listen. Because just like black coffee, I can be strong and hot.
You can be, okay.
Yes, I can.
And so you need a little milk to...
French vanilla.
We need a
just kind of sweeten it up, you know, kind of like...
Not Aussie vanilla? French vanilla.
No Aussie.
Okay.
No, thank you.
Taylor said in this interview with Time magazine that by the time we saw her at the first game, like with Travis, they'd already been a couple, which I don't think really makes sense, because if the first time he shouted her out was on that podcast saying, I want to get at you, Taylor, hit me back, and then the first game, it's not very long time, and they didn't see each other that many times, I don't think. I mean...
Y'all don't know that? Have you ever heard of a sneaky link?
I have heard. You have?
Did we not talk about
We did
this
talk
already?
about that as well.
Okay.
So she also says she doesn't care that she's like pissing off the NFL fans. She's like, if you don't like it, stop watching.
He's hot.
She was also named by Forbes magazine as the 5th most powerful woman in the world.
I'm telling you.
There's not a lot of people who hate her. You know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of people who go, okay, and I'm one of them. Okay, enough now. I'm sick of hearing about it. But, I mean, this is such a decision, because her movie killed it. I think it made $250 at the box office. $250 million.
That's a lot of money.
That Eras tour is just like...
Right.
Travis Kelce, obviously.
Dude.
It's just like everything she touches turns to gold.
Well, and you know what else is like, she's a girl's girl too. And that matters, because women are catty, especially when, they feel intimidated. But because she is so personable and relatable, I don't feel like a lot of women are intimidated by her, nor is she intimidated by other powerful women. Look at her circle group. I mean, she's hung out with Beyonce, and she supports Beyonce's career, even though people try to pit them together. And again, it just speaks volume to the person that she is.
Absolutely. No, she's a very deserving winner, and she might just win it next year too. Like,
okay, Mel.
Calm
down. Slow down.
I'm sick of these. We got Mel in our office who just won't shut up.
I don't. Slow down. Whoa, cowboy.
It was insane. All right, well, thank you for joining me.
It's been a pleasure.
You ever date anyone who takes your tour?
I'm sorry?
Would you ever date a tour passenger?
Do you think I would really answer that?
Well, I mean, I'm just trying to sell the tour here.
You know what? My options are open. I'll just leave it there.
Book the TMZ tour today. And like and subscribe to the podcast while you're at it. All right. Thank you very much for joining me today.
My pleasure.
Tish the Dish. And we'll speak to you guys here tomorrow. Goodbye.